CPR. Unfortunately, he died at the hospital. The victims are here. Eladio Peraz, 52 years of age. Marcos Peraz, 19 years of age. Jennifer Anaya, 49 years of age. Rosa Peraz, 72 years of age. Alyssa Peraz, 16 years of age. And Nicholas Peraz, 10 months of age. I'd like to make a correction. On scene that night, we believe that the young teenage female was 17 years old. In fact, we later learned that she was 16 years old, and I believe I put out that she was 17. We also believed at the time that the infant was 6 months old. We later learned that it was 10 months old. So I want to make that correction for all of you today. She was 16, and the small infant was 10 months old. She was found, along with the infant, laying next to her mother, his mother, down the street. We believe that the 16-year-old teenage mother and her small infant actually was fleeing and running from the scene. What we have since learned through forensics, that it was clear that the shooters stood over the top of the 16-year-old mother and fired rounds into her head. The 10-month-old infant also suffered from the same attack. None of this was by accident. It was deliberate, intentional, and horrific. I will tell you this. We do know of 3 surviving victims from this, what we're describing as a massacre. 3. We will be interviewing them and collecting as much information as we can. There was one person inside the home hiding as they could hear the gunfire erupting inside the home. The description from him is that he was in such a state of fear that all he could do was hold the door, hoping that he was not the next victim. Detectives, at this point, we do believe that we are in the search for 2 known suspects. Potentially a third in an escape vehicle, but we don't know that to be true. This is going off a hypothesis from law enforcement, but we do know that, in fact, we have 2 suspects. It is very clear that this family was a target and that there are gang associations involved as well as drug investigations with us in this home. But let me make this very clear. Not all these people in this home are gang members, and not all of these people in this home are drug dealers. The 16-year-old female is an innocent victim. The grandmother inside appears to be an innocent victim, and definitely this 10-month-old child is an innocent victim. I'll tell you a little bit of the history of the home. On January 3rd of this year, Tulare County Sheriff's Office patrol officers conducted what we call a parole compliance check. Basically what that is when we know people who are on felony parole and are in the community, we will stop and make sure that they're abiding by the law. This compliance check done on January 3rd is the same home where the massacre occurred on Monday. This is a known home to our department. This is where gang activity has routinely occurred in the past. During that compliance check, deputies saw shell casings laying on the ground outside the home. When asked if we could go inside and search, they refused, and that's where the search warrant was written. We obtained a legal search warrant from a judge, and we were able to do a search warrant of the home. And we found Eladio Peraz, who was already on felony convictions, was in possession of ammunition, felon in possession of a firearm, felon in possession of a short-barreled rifle, felon in possession of an assault weapon, a loaded weapon in possession of a firearm, and possessions of a controlled substance. He unfortunately was able to bail out 4 days later. So law enforcement doing their due diligence and community service and protection, part of our duties is to go into these homes and try to remove guns, drugs, and that type of activity. And this home was known to us. That's how I'm able to say that this is a gang-related activity. I have also been quoted as saying this was a cartel-like execution. Make no mistake, I'm not saying that this is a cartel, but also be clear that I am not eliminating that possibility. These people were clearly shot in the head, and they were also shot in places that the shooter would know that quick death would occur. This is also similar to high-ranking gang affiliations in the style of execution that they commit. So we don't know if it is a gang-affiliated shooting, a cartel affiliation, or if the two are combined. But what we can tell you is the manner in which this has occurred is definitely one of the two, if not combined. As the investigation unravels and we're able to confirm one or the other, you will be the first to know. Detectives, as far as man hours, detectives have been working 24 hours a day. And when I say that, I don't mean they go home at midnight and get back up again at 7 in the morning. We have investigators working literally 24 hours a day. With forensic analysis and the collection of forensics, we have our crime lab, digital forensics, our coroner's office, and property and evidence. There has literally at this point been hundreds of items of evidence collected. And we expect more items of evidence to be collected. As of this press conference, detectives are still canvassing the area, looking for surveillance videos, asking for the public's help. And so here today, within this conference, I'm also asking for the public's help. Anyone in that area, if you have a business, it is an industrial area very nearby in the Goshen area, there are residences with ring cameras, there are video all over. Between the hours of 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., we're asking you to go back, take a look at your business videos. Go back and look at your home videos. Doesn't matter how far away you were from the scene. Any video evidence that you find suspicious, please contact the Tulare County Sheriff's Office. We want to look at it. Take the time to go look at your business video and your ring camera videos and report what you have and save what you have. I would also like to commend and thank the law enforcement community that has come out in support and offering assistance in this investigation. Behind me today, of which I received phone calls within hours, from the ATF, FBI, Homeland Security, DEA, Department of Justice, and the California Department of Corrections. Every one of them called within hours, offering resources and assistance. I have them with me today behind me. I have our investigators, our captains of investigations, but I also have those federal agencies. We are pulling out all stops. We are turning over every rock. Every bit of information in the community that you feel is suspicious or that you would like to give us, we want it. I received a phone call from U.S. Congressman Jim Costas. He offered victim support. He sits on a committee for victims of these types of crimes and have offered federal support for our victims. And we must remember, we have victims. I will bring you up to date on our autopsies. Autopsies on the bodies have started today. They will likely be completed on Friday. That'll be part of the information in our next press conference that I'll be able to provide. I want to be